Sorry. So I wanted to talk to you guys about happiness today. So, in this world, there are two ways to look at things. Well, I mean, if you want to get simple with it. There is positive and negative. And if you try really hard, you can find both the positive and negative sides of everything. I could even find positives in the Titanic. Because it's all about perspective. Like, to the people on the Titanic ship, it was negative because, you know, they're dying and it's traumatic. But to the lobsters that were about to get cooked for dinner, that were in the kitchen, it was positive. Because, you know, they get to be free and not get eaten. So it's all about perspective. And if you really decide to look at, you have to decide where you're looking at life, you know, because like a lot of people choose to look at the negative aspects of life because it's easier to slip into a negative mood. You know, it's easier to be angry or sad or annoyed than it is to be happy, right? I mean, that's how I feel. But it's worth it to try harder to get to a better place in life and be happier. So it's like most people feel that happiness is a destination. Oh, if I get a boyfriend, I'll be happy. Oh, if I get a job, I'll be happy. If I make enough money, I'll be happy. If I graduate high school, I'll be happy. But it's like, it's never gonna be that way. Happiness is not something you can get to. Happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is something you have to get to on your own. Nothing that you do will get you there until you make yourself happy. And I'm not talking about pretending like you're happy, because there's a difference between going, everything's fine, and actually enjoying life, genuinely enjoying everything you're doing. So one of the biggest reasons that people aren't happy in life is they are focusing on other things besides what's happening in front of them right now. They're focusing on something they did in third grade that made them feel stupid. They're focusing on what they have to do tomorrow that's stressing them out. They're focusing on what they have to do because they're about to get to school. You know, instead of focusing on the moment right now and noticing that, like, hey, everything's okay. Like, have you ever walked down the street and noticed how beautiful the sky is? Even when it's gray, it's beautiful. What if one day you looked up and it was gone? It was just gone. What if all of a sudden all the plants were gone? All of the stars were gone. It's like, yeah, sunsets are gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but so is everything else. You just have to focus on it. You know, you miss a lot during the day when you're somewhere else, up here, you know? So you have to catch yourselves in thought, you know? You have to really focus on what you're doing in the moment, you know? Like, I used to call myself a piece of shit. That's what I used to call myself. That was my nickname for myself. I would be like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. Even when I wasn't doing anything worthy, if you want to say worthy, of being called a piece of shit. I would just say it all the time. And then I started to realize, like, whoa, like, why am I calling myself a piece of shit? Like, there's enough people out in the world that are going to judge me and say horrible things about me. Then why am I saying this to myself? Like, I need to be my biggest fan, because in the world where there might not be people on my side, I need to be on my side. So instead, whenever I caught myself, I'd be like, I'm such a No, fuck that. No, fuck that. I am a celestial being of beauty and creativity. You know, you just gotta fucking say some shit that'll make you feel beautiful. When was the last time you said, hey, and looked at yourself in the mirror and gone, hey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you did some shit today that, you know, was hard. I'm proud of you because of all the shit you've been through. You are still sane. I'm proud of you because you got your ass up, took a shower, and looked hella cute today. Like, I'm proud of you. Like you need to start, or you don't need to, but it makes you feel better, when you're good to yourself. I don't know. It's like the more you focus in the moment, the more you notice what kind of thoughts you're thinking. Like, I know that, like, even I have these thoughts that are like, oh my god, like, I'm not gonna graduate, I'm not gonna get into college, like, oh, I'm gonna end up, like, fucking poor and, like, unhappy and all this shit. Like, I think stuff like that too. Like, everyone does. It's called fear. It's a thing that happens in your life. It's a natural animal instinct that we've had our whole life to help us survive. But just because it's good for you doesn't mean you should let it run your life. Because too much of anything is bad for you. Just like too much happiness is called in denial, and then it's bad for you. You have to find a balance between good and bad. You have to find a balance between fear and love. You have to find a balance. Like, you need to learn when to be, like, healthily nervous about something and, like, know that, oh, maybe I should be working harder, or maybe I shouldn't be around this unstable situation. But you should also learn when everything's okay. It's a time to laugh. It's a time to dance. There's times to freak out, and then there's times to smile. But you have to figure out which times you're overusing. Because there's times where I notice people are just like, oh, I fucking hate this class, or, oh, I fucking hate walking, it's so lame. Like, all you're doing when you're saying those kind of things is making yourself feel like shit. Like, if you have to do it anyway, why are you making yourself feel like shit about it? Like, you might as well try and find the silver lining of it. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say. You guys have a beautiful day. Stay positive, but don't be in denial.